Okay, I have a review. I've done an e-reader before, but it's been a long time. And it's quite an old e-reader. So about time for another one. And this time it's a really good one. Okay. This is for the Kobo Glo, which is really the flagship e-reader of Kobo. It costs in the UK £99, which is £10 less than the Kindle Paperwhite. But it's actually, I haven't got a Paperwhite, but from what I see it's actually better because for a start you've got more features such as achievements and awards, but also because this here is amazingly for a e-reader, it is at 1 GHz, whereas it looks like from what I can tell the Paperwhite is 800 MHz. So that is quite a good processor for an eInk e-reader. So anyway, here it is. It comes in several colours. Can't remember them all off the top of my head, but basically you have this one which is black with black on the back, and it has, if you can see, a pattern as well, which is quite nice, as well as the logo on the back. You can also get ones with like white at the front and then like light blue at the back, or pinky colour, and there's another colour again I can't think off the top of my head. You have on the top a slider for the power. You hold it to boot up or shut down, and then a dedicated button for the light, because it has a backlight. Well, actually it's a front light technically, which is supposed to be better for your eyes. You're not supposed to get eye strain from it. Then the bottom you just basically have your USB port, mini USB port to charge it, or you can also copy to the device that way. Also, this model, unlike the Kobo Mini, has, I'm not sure if you can see there at the bottom, on the one side is a micro USB SD port. It also it's black and white e-ink screen, but it handles 16 shades of grey, and you probably can't tell because of the bad sort of lighting, but it's actually very detailed looking black and white images if you have an image on it. So let's turn it on. Okay, I don't know how well you can really see this, but try to get a good shot of the whole of the home screen. Okay, basically, I'll sort of zoom in, sort of zoom in a bit on the more important images, but I'll hold it back here for now so you can see the whole thing. On the home screen, you have basically two sort of tabs in a way, separating the two main sections. You have reading, which is where you get to your library, your books you want to read, and then bookstore, where you can get to the bookshop of Kobo itself, because it's actually got built in, and you if you have a wireless connection, wireless network at home, you can, or well, wherever you are, you can log into your network and browse the shop and buy books from the device itself, so you don't have to go over to your computer and plug it into USB and transfer one by one, etc. It also remembers where you left off after you read. Oh, another thing I should mention is, it comes with 2 GB built in. 1 GB of that is used, I believe, by the system. The other gig you can save your books to. If the device is full, not only can you use your SD card, but you can stream basically the books from Kobo. Anyway, on the main screen you have a tile of your books there. So let's click one I haven't read here. It's free book, The Seventh Victim. Okay, this one here, we'll click it. There we go, to the table of contents. Okay, let me just try to show you swiping. Show you the speed, because it's 1 GHz. So it's very fast. In fact, let me just browse a few to get to main text, because the table contents have just got a bit of text, right, so you can barely see page turns. And a load of rubbish. Here we go. Alright, nice page of text, so you can see it swipe, get my finger, swipe, 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 swipe. Now, the other e-reader I've used, it took ages to refresh each page. This 1 GHz model here is really, really fast. And I shouldn't really call it 1 GHz model, it makes it sound like it's other versions. Basically, if you get a Kobo Glo, they're 1 GHz and they're really fast. You tap the center of the screen, although you can change how you navigate in settings. There you can get to your main settings up here, which is where a drop down menu comes up, and you can turn on or off your Wi-Fi. I recommend when you're just reading and not browsing books, you turn it off in between uses of the internet features, because it will save your battery life quite a lot. It says your battery percentage on that drop down. It says when you last sunk the device with their services, and you can refresh it there if you've got your Wi-Fi turned on as well. You can search your library from there, or the bookshop. You can get to the main settings there. Down the bottom here, it says the percentage you read, like 2% of the book read. Pull that up and it says this chapter, 6 minutes left, so it sort of gets to know how long roughly you take to read, and it tells you how long you got left to read that chapter because of however long it is. Then it says the next chapter basically should take you 7 minutes, and it's estimated about 12.2 hours left to finish this book. Pull that down, you have a button here that gets the things, options like the table of contents, annotations, search inside the book, get a definition or translate a word. Basically no drop up. I'll zoom in. No, it's basically a drop up that comes drop up, basically like a pop up that comes up. And the next one, which is arrows, is basically a little scroller and stuff for navigating to pages. You can close it. The double A's, one big A, one small A here. Whoops, close it. You can select your font, and that gives you a drop down of quite a few fonts. You can also select their scrollers for font size, the line space and the margins, the justifications. You can even hit advanced. Once you selected a font, you can hit advanced and navigate the weight, font size and sharpness, etc. for that font. Change it there. You can reset it, apply from there, or just close that dialog at the top. So once we've got that closed, we can then hit this wrench, which allows you to sync your book activity with a drop down. You have sync my book activity. You can post it to your Facebook wall, turn on or off sharing your activity on your Facebook wall, add the book to a shelf, mark as finished if you've finished reading it, or get to reading settings. Under reading settings, you have what I was telling you about a minute ago, which is different options for navigation. Also refresh the screen, and you pull that drop down and you tell it how often you want it to refresh the entire screen instead of just partially. The default is 6 pages, so let's leave it on that. Go to the second page options, which just says page numbers and margins. Show the page numbers in the margins on or off. For some Adobe EPUB files, these page numbers serve as a constant reference across all e-readers and their devices. So let's just close that. From having this menu up, you can also see the title of the book, your Wi-Fi connection strength if you've got it turned on, which I have off at the moment, and the battery level. Like I say, that you get to your drop down main menu there, or hit the home help house button, which gets you back to your main menu, which I didn't quite press. There we go. Then you're back to your main menu. Down the bottom you have a button for library, which you can get your books, news, magazines, previews, because you can download sample chapters, things like that from some books, and your various shows you can create. You then have reading life, which you get your reading stats, or your awards, basically your trophies, like on a games console. Reading stats, it basically pulls it up for the latest book and says you've read 2% of the book. Each session lasted, well in this case because I only just opened the book 0 minutes, but it might say like 11 minutes. Hours read, you might have read the book so far for like 1.2 hours or whatever. How many page turns? 26 page turns. How many books in your library you've finished reading. How many total hours you've read books, or all your books, in this case 4.4 hours. Percentage of your library completes out of, say you had 10 books, what bigger percentage, how much percentage of that have you actually read or still waiting to read. You can drop that down from here as well and get to your, pressed back on reading. Anyway, awards, and there's your trophies. Go back to home screen. You then have the sync button here to sync with your various devices. Then you have your wish list down the bottom, and it says there are 7 books in your wish list. So if you see a pin on one of the books in the bookshop, you press the pin and it adds it to the wish list. That's how you add them. Click there and it shows what books you have in your reading list, and you can have it over as a list or as thumbnails. Go home. Then from the home screen, I'll have to just go up here and turn Wi-Fi on, and also there it tells you the time as well. Go to the bookstore. Here's the bookstore. By default it shows some recommended books for you, such as what says James Patterson, Kill Me If You Can. I don't think I've ever actually read one of his books, but that's what it recommends, so maybe I'll look into it. Then you have a buy now button. You can click the cover to go to a description of it, or you can hit next to buy now a pin, which is to add it to your wish list. And down the bottom after that you have search, to search the bookshop, browse and discover. So if I try to hold it up to the screen and click on them as well, there, which is similar books recommended for you, is what I was just talking about, which is basically a screen that I was on anyway, which is recommended books. And you can also click underneath it, I've already read it. Basically, if you read it in paperback, say before you had this device, you tick that so it won't keep nagging you saying you might like this book. Or if it's a book you're not interested in, you just hit not interested. So you can also buy and pin it from there. So that's just sort of go categories. You can select here categories to get various genres up and things like that. You can also get your reading list there, search your bookshop, and free ebooks from the drop down there. Now let's go to the bookshop again. Click on, say, that one that you recommended there. You then get a page where you buy it, read the description, pull down the drop down, and you can get the similar books to that book from there, or more details such as the ISBN number. You can also click here to read the preview, which is basically sample chapters I was talking about earlier. You can, if you've read it, you can also rate it out of stars down there, such as 4 out of 5 stars, or click not interested from there too. Close that. I just hit search. I'm going to show you. Basically says searching for network found, connecting, and there's the search. As you can see, you have tabs at the top to either search the bookshop or just your library. There's your keypad. Well, at the top right here, I can just close it. And then we can hit home or reading to go back to the reading list. So let me just, for a second, turn off my Wi-Fi so I don't waste my battery. Or also on that menu there, you do have help to find out about your device if you need help or interested in it. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't think I mentioned at the beginning, which I should have. It is a 6-inch e-reader screen. You can get the Kobo Mini version, which looks like this, but it is a 5-inch screen to be smaller and fit in your pocket, and also it's not quite as powerful because it's 800 megahertz processor, not a gigahertz. So I haven't got the other one to compare them side by side, but I would guess that the page turning wouldn't be quite as snappy as it is on this. For an e-ink screen, this is really impressive page turning speed. It costs £99 in the UK. You get it straight from Kobo, of course, online. Although I do know that the Mini is £10 more expensive getting it from them online than it is from WH Smith. Because WH Smith is the main importer and retailer of it over here in the UK. You can get both the Mini for £50 at WH Smith, or this one for £99. They also have the Arc, which is basically Kobo equivalent to the Kindle Fire. I can't remember how much he is, 160, 170 I think, not sure. But Smith is probably your best bet if you're in the UK for this device. Now, as a bit of a bonus, I will quickly show you one of the official cases. Here is the case that WH Smith costs about £30. The official Kobo leather case. On the front, at the bottom, you even have stamped, sort of embossed or whatever on it, Kobo logo. If we open it here, you hold it back a bit so you see. Here you have a little, like basically tray, you slot the device down in, then the straps up here go over each of the top corner. So each of the top corners you just sort of lift up and put it over the top corners. Here you have slots for, like, say, credit cards or library card, whatever. Here's a little sort of opening here so you slide some papers in, notes or whatever. Very flexible. Down the bottom of the tray bit where you slide the bottom of the e-reader, you do have a cutout for the USB so you can charge it or whatever without actually taking out the case. Because I like how small and light the Kobo is. When I read at night, I just pop them out because it's not one of those cases which really snaps on the thing and it's a pain to get on and off, where you basically leave the case on. This one, you just slide it straight out quite easily, very quickly, and then put the device back in when you're finished, and it's no hassle. So if you like to read with just it in your hand, that's very easy, and it's no bother to do that. So there is leather case, official Kobo leather case. I do recommend you pick up one of these if you get the Kobo Glo. This is compatible, this particular case, with the Kobo Glo and the Kobo Touch for around about £30 depending upon where you get it. So yeah, good leather black case. Even a few extra bits here because you have a slip for your paper and cards, and you can still use USB. Feels like good weight, not too heavy but not too sort of light and cheap or anything like that. It's a real good case. So I don't know, probably 10 out of 10 actually for that case. The only thing is, with the case, I might give it 9 out of 10 just because £30 is a lot of money put on a case. But then, well, no, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because cases for most devices such as iPads and things like that cost basically a minimum, it seems like, of £30 for a decent, even reasonably decent case. That's a good case, so yeah, 30 quid probably is reasonable. This here is the Kobo reader. So I should really go back to this. It is very, very, very light. There's no problem in your hand. It feels really light, unlike something like the iPad, which feels very heavy, at least the 3rd gen. Hold it in your hand. This is nice and light to hold. The rubber texture, a little bit fingerprint magnety, but not too bad actually. Looking at it here, I haven't got very many on there, whereas I've had other rubbery sort of devices and they just smudge all over. This actually is perhaps one of the better rubbery sort of devices for fingerprints. It's quite small and very portable, even though it's not the mini so-called fit, made small to fit in your pocket, things like that. It's plenty small enough. It's definitely not too big, and it is still portable itself. I just love it. Best e-reader I think you can get. It's fast. It has plenty of features. It's got eInk, good size screen, 6-inch screen, and like I say, lightning fast. So yeah, this I am definitely giving 10 out of 10, and I rarely give 10 out of 10. Most I normally give would be 9 out of 10, but I can't fault this device at all. Also, it has, you see, for some reason I haven't mentioned the main reason it's called a glow. It has the light, which well, I think I mentioned it, but I haven't actually demonstrated it. So I hit it, press that button once, and it comes on. It's made front to be a front light, which spreads all across evenly on the screen, so it doesn't strain your eyes, give you a headache. And it is really good light because you select down here. Do I press it? No, I don't. And then you get a slider to adjust the brightness. And it's a bit, might not look it from on there, but I've nearly actually got this right down, probably maybe a quarter of the way up, but no more than that. And it's just right for reading. You have it full blast, you could pretty much, it seems like, light up the whole world. So you're not getting some weak, cheap light. Full blast, I don't see anybody who would ever need it that high. So you don't have to worry about, oh well, you know, is it going to be bright enough, or is it not going to be that great? Maybe I should just get the mini, it's cheaper. But if you want to read in the night, or in a door light, in the dark, whatever, I definitely recommend you get the glow. It's definitely worth having a light, and you don't have to worry about getting rubbish light with it. You can put it from almost, well, you can put it off, or you can put it just barely on, or you can put it so bright you'd never need it that bright. So that, and also it does, say I've selected that setting, which is, I have, it's a setting I use, it will remember that setting the next time, even after you turn off. So then if we pull the lever and let it shut down, basically it's shut down screen because it uses eInk, always has an image, and it will use the last book you read's cover and percentage, such as 2% read, 59% read, or whatever, and say powered off. So that's quite nice looking. You have a nice front cover when it's turned off, and percentage of the last book you read. So yeah, highly recommend Kobo, and above all else, the Kobo Glo. Definitely worth picking up. If you want an e-reader, get the Kobo Glo. Definitely recommend it. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe.